Welcome back to this episode of Smash Engineering. I was driving a friend of mine's car, and it had a kind of a squeak to it, and I thought maybe the belt's squealing or got wet or something. That didn't happen to be the case. Let me show you. So while driving, it got hard to steer and the belt was squealing, but then I look and the belt, I mean, it's a little frayed, but it's still there, but whoa, it's really loose. So then I look farther. That is supposed to be an idler pulley. It is not any longer an idler pulley. So we're going to show you guys how to change an idler pulley. First,
Smash Engineering.
first thing you do, this will be there and this will be there. Careful if your engine's hot, because this is hot liquid under pressure. But you take the 10mm bolt out of there, right there. Move this out of the way. Take this, move it out of the way. Take your 13mm Pittsburgh preferred wrench, just kidding, and loosen this. I already did loosen this. I wasn't gonna make a video on this, but I thought it might help somebody. So then you loosen that up. Wow, it's really warm. It's very hot. It just shredded that, holy moly. Hard to turn at the end there, I don't quite know why. Hopefully the threads in the block are all good. And there we have what used to be, or remnants of, the idler pulley. Supposed to be a bearing there, and supposed to be a big plastic wheel around that. Kind of looks like that one. So yeah, that's it's always fun to have happen. So get a new one, and we'll put it on. All right, well, got my belt and everything loose. I noticed that my tensioner has no spring to it here. So I'll go ahead and include that. Pretty straightforward. When you're looking at it down in here, you can see the bolt hole there, and that is two 10mm bolts, and a little bit of that goes a long way. So you take those two out and take it off. This should have spring to it. If it doesn't, your belt's not going to stay tight, and that actually might have been what caused. I think it was a little too tight. I think it was staying that way. Put extra tension on this bearing, which blew apart, and then the plastic pulley that goes on the idler, this piece here, which you don't see anymore because it's shredded, is no longer there. But I'm gonna go ahead and change the belt too. Belt actually doesn't look terrible, but it did get a little beefed up on the outside. Just before you take your belt off, pay attention. So on this one, it goes down straight, around, down underneath the pulley, the crank pulley, and then it comes up to the water pump, and then over to the tensioner, and then up around the alternator there, so you can get your 121 gigawatts. so that you can do time travel. Because everyone likes time travel. I wish I could go back in time and slap whoever designed this. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's actually not that bad. This is a 2001, so she's not young, but she's still on the road. I think. I don't know if is it digital for the mileage. Yeah, it's digital for the mileage. I was gonna show you the mileage, but I think it's got like 168,000 on it. So she's cranking along. But yeah, so I'm just waiting on my parts to get here. I have a person bringing me my parts, and we'll get we'll put the tensioner on first. We'll get the idler put back on, and then we'll put the new belt on. So stay tuned. And if you are having this problem and you're not going to replace this, check the threads or the grooves. I'm sorry. I had a bug land on my face. See how there's melted plastic in these grooves from when that pulley shredded. It threw molten plastic everywhere. I was on the freeway when it shredded, so just pay attention to that. If you're not going to replace this, you might want to get a wire brush and kind of clean those grooves out, because you don't want to, especially if you're putting a new belt on, you don't want your new belt to get, damaged by dirty grooves in there. So just a little tip I thought I'd throw in there, something to check. You also want to check anywhere, like make sure when you take your idler off, make sure you get all, if it's disintegrated like this, make sure you get all of it, because there was a piece of almost looks like a washer, but it wasn't. It's just the back side of it was up against the block. So if I wouldn't have taken it off, when I reinstalled it, it would have messed up the spacing a little bit and possibly the angle which it rides. So, but yeah, if you guys don't have a can of coil, aerial coil, I highly recommend this stuff. It definitely does exactly what it advertises, and I mean it does it well. These bolts down here did not want to come out. I'm pretty sure this is the original one. It says Ford on it. I don't know if you can see, but let's see. Yeah, see the Ford emblem there. So that's the original one. 170-some thousand miles. So I guess really can't complain about it too much, but if you ain't complaining, are you living? If you ain't got nothing to complain about, are you really, really putting yourself out there? Are you really doing stuff? So, but, yep, my part should be here any minute, and we'll get this put back together. You can see a whole lot, but put the new idler pulley in. Go ahead and torque those nice and tight. Take the old belt out. This is a gate, actually. And write yourself a diagram too, how it goes on, because some of these are complicated. Although I think this car's diagram's probably all over the internet if you really need it. If your belt actually just snaps completely. Make sure you don't leave any sockets behind either. You can see that in. It'll make for a nice clunk noise. A lot of fun of feeding this one in there. Actually, before I feed that one in there, we'll put the new idler. That's what this one over here is supposed to look like. So it should look like that. Alright, and always make sure they give you the right belt. The belt they gave me was not correct. I had the tensioner adjusted all the way out, and there was still an inch or so more that I couldn't go, and the belt wouldn't go on. So for now I'm going to use the old belt, and we're going to put everything back where it goes. This goes over here. And we'll be good to go. If your hands don't end up a little bit bloody, did you really work on a car?